everyone. This is Tommy, World at War Comics. I am the creator and writer of the comic book Kingsville. We actually have a Kickstarter going on right now. So if you head over to Kickstarter, type in Kingsville, you'll see it pop up there. We would love your support. We have an amazing guest for you today. But before we get into that, we do have a couple sponsors that I'd like to mention. First is Cien Chilies, the best hot sauce you could buy. Go to CIENCHILES.com. Use comics at checkout and save 15% off your order. I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed with this hot sauce. They'll deliver it right to your door. And also Comic Crusaders, the best in comic book reviews, music reviews, movie reviews. They even have their own podcast that has amazing guests. So check them out. Go to YouTube right now. Follow Comic Crusaders or go to comiccrusaders.com. All right, without further ado, today's guest is an amazing artist named Willie Roberts out of Argentina. He is the current artist on Antarctica, which is an incredible series done by Simon Birks for Top Cow at Image Comics. You're going to really like this one. All right, enjoy. Here's Willie and I. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics podcast. Today, my special guest is Mr. Willie Roberts. He is the artist extraordinaire for the new series with Image Comics Top Cow Antarctica. Willie, it's a pleasure to meet you, my friend. How are you?
Hey, man, great. Really good. It's a pleasure to meet you too. I was watching some videos earlier from your channel.
Yeah.
And it was all okay until I saw the Chuck McFarlane video and I get a little nervous.
No. It's all good. We'll have some fun, man. This is all about you, Willie, and your career. I'm really loving this this title. That's why I reached out to Simon to begin with to talk to it. But the artwork is beautiful, man. Congratulations
Thanks
on that. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we were talking a few minutes ago that you've been working with Simon for about 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah. I will start with some illustration for a game book.
Yeah.
And then he offered me some comic book pages. I think the first word was, I think it's a Lovecraft adaptation. I can't recall now. No, I can't recall. And then we moved to Clodagh. It's a horror graphic novel about the witch, and it was pretty cool. I will start working more frequently with him. And in Blue Fox was an awesome person, a great partner to work because we get to know each other very well.
Yeah.
And then, well, we start working on another Lovecraft adaptation called The Thing on the Doorstep. It's really cool. There's 3 parts, graphic novels, and it was a great experience.
Yeah.
It was great because it was a good foundation to this project. It's huge. It's more bigger than the Blue Fox. And when we start with Antarctica, we already know each other. We know how we work, how we connect. It was great.
Yeah. I mean,
person.
Top Cow's a big brand, man. Mark Silvestri, Matt Hawkins. I mean, that's royalty in comic book, right?
It was very shocking when he told me. Because I was working on this Lovecraft adaptation, and I was so getting into this graphic novel. I was finished it because I was working on the 3rd part. Yeah. And then he said, "Okay, I have good news." I didn't know that he already worked with Top Cow for this start. These 6 pages of Antarctica. I didn't know anything about that. And then he said, "Okay, I have a new person with Image and Top Cow," and it was like. And he said, "Okay, I want to have some time to prepare myself, because it's a new character. There's a lot of things to do." But it wasn't that way. It was okay. Let me finish this adaptation. He said, no, we need to start right now because they wanted to have it in issue 1. I think it was in July. Yeah. I had a couple of bills. The worst part is you can say nothing. You can tell your friends, but you can post anything. Yeah. I was working almost 6 months. Yeah. And I can't say anything. It was a nightmare. I want to tell everybody that I work with the machine with Top Cow. When I couldn't. I had to resolve a couple of things very fast to get the first issue ready. But then I have a little more time to work to explore the different dimensions, the concept, which is not an easy job because you have to use the same characters, but you need to make difference between. You need to, if everyone looks the same, is not real. The essence of it. The story is to show how can your work can be different, taking another decisions, situation. And it was pretty challenging.
Yeah, I bet. Now, before we get too much into Antarctica, can we talk about your history and comics? When did you first like pick up your first comic book, and did you know that you wanted to be an artist from very young age?
It's sometimes I say that life is a circle.
Yeah.
Because the first time I remember my brother was in hospital, and we bought some comics. I can recall that I think I have 8 years old or 7, and we went with my mom and we picked up some copies. I never read a comic.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, and we picked up Superman Death.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I read it, but there was a copy of Spawn from Image with I think it was Greg Capullo on the pencil.
I love that guy. Yeah.
It was something changed my way to see art because I draw my whole life. I don't have any memories without a pencil in my hand.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I saw a comic, and I couldn't believe in a person could draw like this. Greg Capullo in the 90s was awesome. Huge fan. And then I started reading some comics, but I never been a fan. I never collect a lot of comics. I was working more in a traditional way, portraits and all that. And I was working in a coffee shop for many years, and I was so tired of everything. And I was almost 30. You have this kind of crisis, you have to do something. You have to change something because you love art. You can't do anything with that. So I found an illustration from Alex Ross, and I was already fan from Norman Rockwell, and have this realistic style that I'm still working that way. From my style is not very cartoonist; it's more realistic, and something clicks on me, and I say, okay, I have to do this. And I start working as a crazy person. I remember I was working on the coffee shop. The tables, they called me. I was throwing behind the bar. And I had to talk with the boss, say, okay, you have to work more. But then I remember that time that I was pretty hard because I was working like 9 hours, 10 hours, and back home I already had my daughter. It was a baby, but I had to spend time in start working until very late in the night, and then. But it was the best part because then build my method of work, really build the foundation for the future. It was pretty good. I started working with, as I was a fan of Alex Ross. I work with watercolor and with huge paper and scan everything and send. Not any big publisher, just people hire me for sometimes, and they even pay me. And then it was all learning. This was a learning process. And then I started working. It was so impossible. It's very hard today to work in a traditional way because it's a double of work. You have to, and sometimes you have to correct a lot of things from from Simon. Sometimes they say, okay, this panel is not, you don't understand wrong. And you can erase from watercolor. Now it was a hard change to start working with the Wacom. But then I figured it out, and I spent my entire days. I would leave the coffee shop and I start working in comic books. And I was working with Eric Sheffield, that he was building some comics from superheroes, and I worked almost a year. Then I started working with Morgan Quay, lives in Australia, and he's the one who wrote Blade in the Dark, and it was a great experience. I started working, I built I learned new stuff, new work on the style, build my personal style. And then when Simon showed up, and then everything changed because he offered me a lot of work, a regular series. I remember in one time I was working like 4 different projects with Simon, working in the Clodagh comic, the thing on the Doorstep, new game books. It was all. And then I stopped everything when Top Cow showed up.
Yeah. That's so exciting.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to, when Top Cow calls, you better stop everything, right?
Yeah. I didn't know what to do. I did. Okay, I'm going to focus on Antarctica, and that was my last year, and it's going to be everything. I sometimes I took some quick work like covers or illustration that I can find take a new shot today because it's a regular series, so you have to finish 22 pages and a cover every month, and I color with my wife. Now my wife is coloring some of the from issue 5 is learning the whole process, and I have my family working.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's had a great future in coloring, and well, she makes the flat color, right, and then she sent me all the copies, and then I start working on the rendering, the texture, the special effects. But it's the only way because drawing pencil, inks, and colors in a month is almost impossible.
Yeah.
For now, we were good working more hours, but it's the time to work hard because Antarctica is getting a great receipt from readers, and I didn't expect that, honestly. I was hoping that the comic was having good reviews, and it was more than I expected, and I think everyone in the team thinks the same way.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great series, and it's very exciting too. So yeah, it's been very popular. I have a comic book store in my town that I live in. I live near Palm Springs, and
Palm Springs,
yeah. And we have a comic book shop here, and it's always sold out. So it must be doing good.
Yeah, it was shocking because Lyndon lives in England, Simon in Scotland, and they told me the Forbidden Planet and other comic shops there, they sold out issue 5 and some issue 4, I think the same, and now with 6 probably happened the same. It was crazy. It was really crazy. I can't wait to be on the Comic-Con next year because I lose the last one because I don't have the visa, and here in Argentina you have to wait almost a year to have an appointment to get a visa. So and now we are close to that appointment, and we finger crossed to be the next San Diego Comic-Con there. It was beyond my dream to sit with Max Silvestri, Matt Hawkins, and all the people there. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. No, it's San Diego Comic-Con. It is very crazy, man. Very, very crazy. But it's a great opportunity to meet a lot of fans. And, with art and comic books, man, it just seems like there's some incredible artists throughout South America, Brazil, Argentina. It's incredible. Is the comic book, you said there's a comic con that happens in Argentina every year. Is it real close where you live?
In the Providence here is Buenos Aires, and my city, Mar del Plata, is inside that, but it's like California. It's big. You have 4 hours for a trip to go there. And I went there last year, but as a fan, as a comic artist, just to see. And it's pretty cool. It's huge. And we start working very good. I think I discussed with the Comic-Con here in Argentina it's in December, and they don't have a place to the Artist LA here.
Okay.
And but maybe next year, I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah,
it could be great to be here and talk with. The problem is, Antarctica is only in English, so it's not easy to present. Until there's a Spanish version, there's people know probably that you can sell too many copies in English because it's not easy.
Yeah. No, that would make sense. As far as the process, do you prefer the interior pages, or do you like doing covers, which is a much bigger picture? Do you have a preference?
I think I like both. With Antarctica happened, we work on the cover first. Sometimes because you had when it's a regular series, you have to prepare everything to previous war and all the previews, and you need to show at least a cover.
Yeah.
It happened to me. The issue 7 was the cover would show up, and I didn't draw the comic yet, but I start always with the cover, and we already have the 5 covers from the second arc.
Yeah.
But it's a different method because in a cover you have to impact the reader from the first image you saw, and the colors. There's a lot of things to do. Antarctica has I don't like to say unique, but have this particular design of the logo in the middle.
Yeah.
In a different way, so you have to create the cover having in mind that you have the logo in the middle, so you have to build you can pose a face because you're going to cut in the middle.
Right, yeah.
It's the idea of different dimensions. Yeah, that's why, because you have 2 different dimensions, and it's important to create that vibe. And the interior is more narrative, right? It's more about what Simon has in mind, and the rhythm of the story. And I'm still learning how to work on panels and leave less detail and more slowly when there's a lot of conversation, when there's nothing important happens.
Yeah.
And then you probably use the same size of the panels and keep all, so the reader can just read it fast, but you have to change everything and move things from perspective. When there's action, when there's a lot of important thing to show, you use bigger panels. And but I love both. But I spend more time working, of course, inside. And it's pretty challenging, and sometimes it's crazy because well, there's 5 issues. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. But, don't get in trouble.
You know that there's more than these 2 Hannahs, and there's a lot of things happening. And sometimes in the script it's hard because you have Hannah 1, Hannah 2, Hannah 3, and you have this character, the other character, and you have to mix it together. Sometimes you have to focus so much on what is happening because it happened a lot of times that I drew the wrong Hannah in that. No, this is the other. It's pretty fun, and Simon have this talent to you get involved with every version of the character, and it's not just sci-fi story. And this is important because give me the opportunity to show more expression. It's not all superhero pose. It's you have to this in flashback when you have a little Hannah, and you have to work on. It's not the same expression in a child and an adult, so you have to work a lot of that. But Simon give me the freedom to work and take decision all the time, and it's great.
That's awesome. Is there so far a favorite character that you like to draw out of the series yet?
To draw, the one from the cover you have there. This is because I love it. They have some kind of danger vibe, and they have some presence when they get into the comic. You say, okay, something is going to happen, something bad is going to happen, and I love to create that because they when they show up, they make a lot of noise. And we don't know much about these characters, and in Sharon, I really like to draw Sharon because he's not just a dad. There's a lot of mystery involved in this character, and I love it because you don't know it's good, it's bad, where is it? And you have in the second arc, we have a lot more of Sharon, of course, because it's 15 years earlier, and I really enjoy to draw more Sharon. There's a lot of Sharon in the second arc.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Greg Capullo. Are there some other artists that you look up to as you were learning to draw in sequential art like this for comic books?
Yeah, in comic books, I am fan of Livermejo. And now the ones they are actually in a hot spot. Jorge Jimenez, I love what he's doing on Batman and Nemesis now. It's great. Pepe Larraz is Spanish also, and well, we have a lot of artists. There's a lot of it's a huge list, but that's the one that. Well, I'm sorry, I forget the name from Seven to Eternity. Jerome Peña.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this guy is crazy. the detail of every panel is I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of copies of that book, and it's insane the level of technically detailed that it works.
Yeah, the detail, right? It's just crazy, man.
No, it's even in a panel that is like this small. There's all there. It's amazing. I try to achieve that and had a lot of detail. But sometimes you have to learn how to not use too many details, because sometimes you slow the reader when you have a lot of background. You slow down the rhythm, and sometimes if there's a conversation, like I said, it's okay. If there's a fight or something more dynamic.
Yeah,
it's not very ideal to use a lot of backgrounds and details, because you kind of slow down the moment that you have to fast. Do it all fast, and the adrenaline.
Yeah, such a good point. Because as an artist, right, you have to tell a large portion of the story too.
Yeah. You have to make decision all the time, because the script can tell you, okay, this guy hits the other guy, but it's important how you use the camera, how you use the panel. If this a pig, if this dynamic is no panels, just the image, and it's about. I think it's more about rhythm. Yeah, I like to think the reader can move faster and slower. You can manage that, right? It's the script is the first step, of course. Yeah. But sometimes you can explain words something so dynamic like fire, because it's going to be a script of 40 pages. You have to take decision. And Simon gave me the opportunity and trust in me when he say, okay, it's gonna be a huge fight in the last issue that I finished. I just finished issue 8. I'm working on 9 now, and say, okay, there's gonna be a fight. Get fun. It was like it's not so structured in that way.
Now, how far in advance are you working on issues? You try to stay 3 or 4 issues ahead. Is that a comfortable place for you?
Honestly, we work in issue by issue. I received this. I'm working on issue 9, and I have already script 10. But it's important, because in the story, from the visual point of view, you have to build some connection from the first issue you work in and the last one. If you just work in page by page, you miss a lot of things, and you get into the last issue and you think, oh, okay, if I knew that this is gonna happen, I could change or make the other issue different in a different way, or create connections between those. And it's important to have at least 1 or 2 issues in front of you. It's more easy to work, because you have to read all and have all this movie in your mind as you start working on the pages.
Yeah, that's such a good point, because we always get the perspective of the writer, but it's really good to understand the perspective from the artist too, and how they like to receive information, because that has a lot to do with how the art will end up on the page, right?
Yeah. If the story is good, I work with a couple of writers, and sometimes the script is not that good, and sometimes it's awesome because when Simon brings me the new issue, the new script, I was reading it like a fan. I want to know because sometimes I finish to draw an issue and then I don't know what's happening next, and I want to know and say, okay, wait, I'm finishing this script, and then I read it as a fan, and then I start working as a professional. And the first step is reading. Okay, I want to know what happened because everything like it happened in issue 5 is like okay, and then there's a big finale, and then we go back in time. But I want to know what happened in the next arc because I want to know how issue arc 1 and 3 get connected. And also when I was drawing concept, I sent Simon a lot of concept from the future on the story, so he can not to he's the writer, of course, but maybe I have some ideas from the concept, from the character, and he used, I don't know yet, but a lot of time he used my idea and changed the script based of what I draw. And this is, I think, is the best part of this work because how we work together, how we build this universe together, and sometimes it's not he is the writer, I am the artist. It's more like we are the creators of Antarctica, and we work that way. And he changed things in my drawing, and I changed things from script. And we understand each other very well. He never say, okay, no, let me write the script and draw. And he always say, okay, I bring in a lot of ideas and say, okay, I like this, I like it. I'm gonna use it in the future, but I don't know yet. I hope so.
Yeah, that makes it a lot more exciting too, I think, for the reader, because I could tell when I'm reading a comic book if the artist and the writer are not on the same page. You could feel it.
Yeah, it happens.
Reading, right?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it's because the business there's a writer that is working on 5 different scripts and stories, and the artist is not possible because if you're working on 22 pages, you can do another comic book. At least you have a year to finish one issue. That is never. I think it never happened. And sometimes it's hard to find to build this connection, and it depends on the person behind. I don't know. Sometimes the writer wants to stay to his plan, and maybe for the artist it's a little boring because you have to do like you're a machine, you draw everything the right place, and in that way you kill a lot of creativity from the artist. And even if the writer build a story, the artist is what is the person in charge to give him life, because you have whatever you see is what the artist draw, even if the script is amazing. And you are the one who put that in the eye of the reader. And if you do a great job, and they're gonna love it. And if you ruin it, it's not an easy. It's not easy when you don't get this connection with the writer. But if you have a good relationship, it's the best.
That's amazing. You could definitely tell. Is your favorite portion of drawing, is it staying within a panel, or do you like those big splash pages where you're allowed to come outside of the
I like when it's pretty it's pretty nice, this style of big impact on pages. I like when I'm not very dynamic in that way. I don't do everything popping up, but I like when it happens and the story is going in regular panels, right, the right side and everything, and then you make that break, and if you feel it as an artist, and the reader is gonna feel it too, because it's like your mind is working that way. It's every single panel you like follow the pieces, and then you turn the page, and there's this weird panel and dynamic. It's not rectangular. It's weird. And in issue 5, there's a splash page that had a lot of it's a combat, you know, I don't know if you, yeah, well,
here too.
and that was
Oh, here,
Simon say, okay, it was more traditional. Say, okay, happen this, but he never told me, okay, use this size and then this formal rear, and then I say, okay, this is a good way to show this this fight and bring something different because you read in traditional panels and then you saw this and makes a change in the reader. This is good because you like to get surprised when you read a comic.
Absolutely.
You know, and like to. But I saw a lot of artists that are working traditional way, and they are great too. It depends how you work. For me, it's not the smart decision to get all the panels from every page is dynamic because the reader is gonna get tired eventually because if you everything is spectacular and it's hard to make that panel to make that splash page that gets an impact because he's already tired from this. That's why you need to learn. I still learning how to work on that. And Antarctica has a lot of different temperature in the story. You know, you have some hot spot when you have to create something more sexy, if you will. And sometimes you have to keep it simple and clean to get more easy read.
Yeah. As an artist, are there some like body poses that you hate to draw because they're just difficult?
Yeah. It's the more easy to draw is probably adult man and maybe adult woman, but when you have to work with kids, it's because they don't move like the adults. They have more funny movement, and it happens that I'm not a specific fan of drawing kids because it's really hard because you have to capture some innocence that is not easy to get. You can draw a kid, but you have to capture that. And like I said, Jorge Jimenez is when Super Son is amazing doing that work because he get this kind of manga anime gesture that he work great with kids. And then you have Liebermecher, who's amazing artist, and when you have to draw kids, you feel it a little rough or a little adult in a way. It's not easy. It's not. That's why I don't like. I love to draw anything, but it's not my favorite. My favorite work we work with kids. Sorry, and there's a lot of kid version of Hannah kids.
Oh, I know,
Already.
The second arc, right? If it's going back 15 years or whatever.
Yeah, the second arc is a lot of young Hannah. So you know, you need to learn how to draw it and make it, and it's not gonna be amazing, but at least for fun.
That's excellent. So I mean, you have the second arc, right? It starts with issue 6, correct?
I'm working on issue 9 now. I finished issue 8 last week, and now it's in a regular show you finish an issue Monday, Thursday you have to start again with the next one, and you don't have a pause. You have to work.
No breaks.
No breaks because you know you need to have it finish it by deadline. And you have the problem is that you don't have free time to design, and I'm a huge fan. I learned some couple of years ago some of concept art. Was one of my dream also to work as a concept designer, and you need time to design. You can sometimes you don't have the time. You move to the next page, and then something new appears, a new character, a new costume design, and then you have to resolve all in the same day. You don't have time to test thing and say, okay, we try with this or this. You have to make a fast decision. It's all about fast decision, and sometimes you miss to have the free time to take a day to say, okay, let's work on this new universe and build some characters, show it to Simon, wait until if he likes. And we don't have that window. You have to work and resolve in the moment.
Yeah, it'd be a little stressful too, no?
Yeah. Sometimes it's stressful because you don't. It's like you're on a train that never stops. You have to work.
Want to get out, look around a little bit, right?
Yeah, when I started, I have a lot of months with issue 1 because I don't know. I think I started in December and the issue 1 it was released on July from next year, and I have a little time to design the future. But now it's every month, and the time is stretching, and you have to work fast and trying to done those detail and show your best work. But you have to at least the first arc was good to build the entire universe because there's a lot of characters and bases and cars and all that, and I have the time to build all that and leave it to the future. And now I'm taking from these examples and this design, and it's easy and work every day and design every day. But sometimes it happens that way. There's a new character and you need to draw it in the morning, send it to Simon, get approved, and put it on the page. It's the process.
Wow. Now, as far as creating the characters, I assume there's a lot of back and forth. In maybe Simon's mind, he knows there's a character named Hannah, and he knows that Hannah's this years old. But how you go back and forth before you come to that final design of who Hannah actually looks like, I assume that has a lot to do with you, right?
Yeah. And Simon told me about this. She sent me the script, and she told me, okay, that I already know that it's going to be 2 different Hannahs. And then he sent me some pics from reference, and I don't know the name of. I think it's a football player, the woman who Simon had in mind for Hannah.
Yeah.
But I have another idea. It happens to me that when he sent me the script, I read the script, and Hannah, as you know it now, came to my mind. Is like I already knew how it's gonna look, how she's gonna look like this, and I think, okay, I don't know why he told me this brown skin, and I say, okay, I don't know why. He say, okay, white hair. I don't know why. It just came to my mind. Say, okay, it's gonna be something that you don't see a lot. And then in base that with issue 1 or 2, I can recall. If you pay attention, Hannah has the brown hair until his father leaves, and then he start with a little white hair, and then he start all white as a trauma. I don't know how. That's part of my design because I didn't have this in mind when he wrote the first script. So I tell him, okay, and I send him some samples of the 2 Hannahs. He say, okay, I love it, and then I need to work on new Hannah, second, the doctor, and I say, okay, it needs to look different because one is more fun, more chilly, and the other one is like a professional, more stressed person, and then but it needs to be the same person in the same time. And then that's why we use different hair and different clothes. I try, not many times, I try to use different gestures from the original Hannah than the other one, because the other one is more angry than the first one. And it's more, have different poses sometimes. And even with the suit, I built the suit from a lot of concepts. The orange one, or red, orange. And then I need to work on the second universe and make something different, but it feels like it belongs to the same universe, but the comic universe is not easy. It's all in Antarctica with different dimensions, but it needs to fit in the same world, but with different dimensions. And I think I sent Simon, so the same day, the design of the suit, and he loved it. And no, works pretty good so far, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And, there's a lot of people who, and the reviews, or Simon told me on the Comic Con, they tell that they love the design of the characters, and read a lot of reviews when these first 5 issues came. And the design was a huge part of the story, and that's what I think is one of my favorite part of the process. And the design is, I think, is the best, because I say, okay, if I have time, I love to design things and wars and ships and guns and everything. Is part of my work.
Yeah, absolutely. I would think that would be the fun part, is being able to kind of create the designs that go for the world that you're building, because everything like is in a very cold environment. Have you ever drawn things like in the snow before?
No, there's no. There's a scene in the team of Doorstep that is happening snow, but it's 2 pages, nothing more.
Yeah.
And I had to search for a lot of reference, because I didn't want to look like a regular snow suit and give this this sexy look. And I search, honestly, a lot of time I make my research on concept design from game books, video games, movies, naturals. When it's about to design, I never went to comics to look for reference. I always move in another direction. And I don't know, the Hideo Kojima with The Stranding, I use reference from there, and some another video games. I think video games now has one of the best concept artists in business, even more than the movies sometimes.
Yeah,
because they have some unique designs, and you don't see a lot, because in movies everybody watch movies, but not everyone play video games. And there's some amazing artists working there, and I get inspired a lot of times when I saw these different designs that they made for video games, and I take a lot of reference from there.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing, Willie. It's incredible what you've done with Simon. The comic is amazing. The art is incredible.
Thanks.
Do you grew up reading superhero comic books? Do you have a desire one day to do a superhero comic book? And if you could pick one superhero to draw, which one would it be?
Batman.
Batman for sure.
For sure. Yeah. It's
no
my favorite.
Time at all. You knew exactly right away, Batman.
Yeah, I would love it. If I have a top 5 list from dreams to achieve, the first one is to draw Batman. I had a lot of tattoo, but I lift my arm.
Yeah.
The time that I draw Batman is, I know someday it's gonna happen. At least a cover or a panel. I don't know. I don't care. One page. I'm gonna tattoo all the Batman here. I'm a huge fan, and I hope someday I could work on the character.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, that would be
But
fun.
I love other characters. Daredevil, I don't know. Hellboy. I love Hellboy too.
Hellboy, yeah, for sure.
I would love to draw those characters someday. But now it's great that you're working on some other people characters.
Yeah.
It's a lot of funny to work in your own characters, because it's something special. When I saw all the alternative covers from a lot of artists, it's amazing to see how other artists represent the same character, or the character that I create with Simon. And there's a lot of new artists that is going to show up in the second art. You're gonna read about it soon. And I love to see how they represent Hannah in another artist's eyes.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be pretty exciting too, that something you created now other artists are drawing.
Yeah, it's amazing. One of the things that most shocked me was the crossover with The Walking Dead. Giuseppe will make this amazing, huge illustration with the 3 different titles from Top Cow. Beside Batman, I'm a huge fan of Robert Kirkman and The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And there was another time that everything happened so fast since Antarctica. And I honestly, I couldn't stop to think what is happening because everything is happening so fast. And I was working in my room, and now I'm planning to go to San Diego and sit right next to Mark Silvestri is beyond my dreams. And when Simon told me, okay, there's going to be a alternate crossover with The Walking Dead, it was like, actually, I print that image and I put it in my bedroom, a huge frame.
I bet,
yeah, it was so crazy.
Yeah, I would do the same, man. I would do the same.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
You know, Mark Silvestri was doing a Batman for a little while recently too with the and he's got a pretty Batman too. The Deadly Duo with Joker.
Deadly Duo with Joker. Yeah, I read it. It was when Mark Silvestri is more than a legend now. He's in this thing with, I don't know, Jim Lee is in the position that he changed a lot of the comics in business because not just with Image, with the foundation of Image, but as an artist, I watch artists like, I don't know, David Finch, and when he makes on YouTube his videos drawing, and he say a lot of time I started in Top Cow and I learned from Mark Silvestri.
Yeah,
we're talking about some unbelievable artists that get inspired by Mark, so he's beyond all of us as an artist. I wish I could meet him the next year. I had to prepare all the comics to sign from there.
Exactly. Yeah, he was at this last San Diego Comic-Con, so I was able to meet him there, and he's a very gentle person, very kind. But he's big. He's like
Simon told me the same. I asked him. I asked for them. You've been with Mark Silvestri? Yes, and he sent me the picture right next to him. It's like this.
It's huge.
He's huge, but he's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, very gentle. Very gentle.
Very simple person.
And
I hope next year I can meet him.
Yeah. No, he's one of my favorite. I love The Darkness and Witchblade, which very similar, The Darkness to Spawn, in a lot of ways, right? The character development.
We're in the same time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, and those artists like Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee,
Todd McFarlane.
It was a special time in comic world. Those artists came up, changed everything for me.
They did, me too. Yeah, the 90s, late 80s and early 90s were a really good time for comic books for me. That's when I really fell in love.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was really young when Image came in because it was 92, so I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
But then I remember everything that it was comic books. It was them. I remember Spawn movie that I was really young, and it was in those years there wasn't so many superhero movies. I think there was Tim Burton Batman, and I don't know.
Yeah, you had Superman from the 70s.
The 70s.
Yeah, and then you had Tim Burton in the 80s. So I mean, there's not a lot.
89. And it was different, even because it's more like the movies are now. Very dark. Great actors, and I remember it blew my mind when I watched that movie, and I was really fan of that character.
Yeah, amazing, man. Amazing time.
Definitely. Well, you talk with Todd McFarlane. I told you earlier that you talk with Todd McFarlane. I watched just the video of Simon, and then I was searching in your channel, and then you be with them and say, okay. Now I'm nervous.
I have Mark Silvestri will be on in January, so I'll have him.
Really?
On. Yeah. We've been going back and forth. So him and Matt Hawkins will be on, but Matt was in Abu Dhabi for the big
Yeah, yeah, it was in the.
so we had
Yeah,
to move
yeah, yeah.
January. So I think the first week of January is what we're hoping to do. So we'll see what
Oh,
happens. Yeah. But yeah,
okay.
those
Yeah,
are,
well,
those are
Matt
guys
is
I looked
awesome.
up to for so many years, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, Matt Hawkins is so great guy, and I never talk with Mark, and that I talk with Matt Hawkins
Yeah.
at least by mail, not in
Yeah.
person, and he's he helped me with a lot of stuff to be in San Diego, and he's a great person, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet him in person.
Yeah.
I had to give him some present from here from Argentina. I
Yeah.
prepared some wines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had
Exactly.
to bring some wine from Argentina to a lot of people there.
Yeah. Exactly.
They never
Yeah.
gonna get me to the plane.
Exactly. They're not gonna let you, man, with all that wine, man.
No, man, there's too many alcohol there.
Yeah, because a lot of the wines in Mendoza, no?
Yeah, and those are yeah. I'm already searching for
Are
some
you?
good wines to
Yeah.
bring. If you're gonna be there, I promise you to bring.
Yeah,
If you're gonna be in San Diego,
yeah,
I
yeah. I would
also.
love to meet you. I'll go by the Top Cow
Yeah, yeah.
meet you for sure.
What is your favorite character?
Well, it's so difficult. I mean, Batman, obviously a huge Spider-Man, really big for me. Superman. I grew up DC comics. That's kind of
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'm more DC than Marvel, definitely.
yeah, yeah. DC is my favorite universe, but I love the Incredible
Yeah,
Hulk. I love Spider-Man, Captain America, but just DC always had a special place in my heart. So I grew up more on DC, but Image Comics. So I'm older than you. I was in high school in the 90s. So I was already like
Okay.
16, 17 years old. And when Image Comics came on the scene, man, it changed all of
Yeah,
it. It changed
change
everything.
everything. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It
And
happens a
it
lot of
put
things that.
artists at the forefront too. Whereas
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's not.
it was the more of the big deal. But once yeah, Robert Liefeld, Mark Silvestri, when all
Yeah,
those guys moved from Marvel and created Image Comics, it really took the art and put it to the forefront, and it became the center of everything. And even to this
yeah,
day, right, art is so important in comic books that the writing.
definitely.
So you have to have a good story, but if you don't have good art, no one's gonna buy it, man.
No, those people make the first steps and change everything because it wasn't like that before them.
Yeah, exactly.
And we should be grateful for this
Yeah,
these
absolutely.
artists because they changed my work today.
Yeah,
I can believe it yet that I'm working for Image, and
exactly.
it's the best place because for the other guy, a person that I'll be working, told me, okay, you came to the best place to work
Yeah,
from your way to work because you are a designer. Naturally, you like to create words, to create characters. The best place to work in the world
yeah,
is Image.
yeah, yeah.
And
Create our own, right?
I was asking you because I can draw you some character. You have to choose one, and then if
All
I go
right.
on to San Diego, I'm gonna give you in person
All
with the
right,
wine.
sounds good, Willie. I would love
Tell me
that.
then which one you want.
All right, sounds good. I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Now Hannah's amazing, man. Even just something from Hannah would be great.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm working now on some paper in the other way, so to bring them there, and I'm gonna work which one because you have to pick one. Hannah.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say with all the white hair.
Which one?
White
The
hair.
prime Hannah?
Yeah, exactly. With all the white hair. When it turns all
Yeah,
white. Yeah, that's perfect, man.
yeah, yeah. Okay, give me one.
Thank you, Willie. I
At least
appreciate
that.
it.
So
Also
good.
with something too, my friend.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, Willie, thank
Um,
you so much, man. I really appreciate you coming on today. I really enjoyed meeting you. I hope we could do this again.
me too.
I hope we
Yeah,
could do
yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah.
When the second hour came up and we
Yeah.
finished, we can talk about many things that I can talk now because they're gonna kill me. There's a lot of spoil
Yeah,
and there's a
no,
lot of mystery on Antarctica, and I want to ruin anything.
oh, don't get in trouble, Willie. Don't get in trouble, man.
No, 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 no. My
Well,
hobby's gonna kill me.
yeah, exactly. Simon will kill you, man. No. Uh,
Simon too.
yeah. Well, Willie, thank you so much, man. I really enjoyed meeting you today, and I hope you have an amazing week, and we will talk soon.
Thanks. Thanks, man. Thanks
All
for bringing
right,
me here.
Willie. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, thank you, Willie. Hold on.